Many of you have been faced with frequent boil water advisories and water main breaks, and that frustration was expressed at tonight's Sewerage and Water Board meeting. It was a community meeting that took place in District B, the last of a series of gatherings. WDSU reporter Alyssa Gomez joins us from District B. Alyssa, I know many people are upset about these water woes, so did a lot of people show up?
Yeah, well, Stella, surprisingly, despite the Sewerage and Water Board urging people to come out and express their thoughts, there were few people in the crowd tonight. But the few that did show up made sure to ask pressing questions, and so did we. A nearly empty church didn't stop tonight's Water Talks meeting.
It doesn't matter to me if it's 1 or 30 or 100. That means that is a customer who was concerned about the Sewerage and Water Board, had an issue, wanted to learn more.
Glenn Wilmore is a lifelong New Orleanian and one of the few in the crowd.
I think that, we can do better.
A leak at his home led to a $2,000 water bill. His problems lie with the contractors that came to address the issue.
I don't think those guys were very, very well trained, and that left a bad taste in my mouth.
On a larger scale, the board addressed frequent water main breaks throughout the city.
Bottom line is we have an old system, and they would have broken during anyone sitting as executive director or any utility when they're that old.
And as we've heard before, updating that system comes down to securing millions of dollars. So we asked,
realistically, when do you think the city could see the funding they need for these massive projects that need to be done?
Well, we did request earmarks, and so we may hear something at the end of the session, the congressional session. So we may hear something towards the end of September.
And though tonight's meeting centered on District B, the ongoing Decatur construction in District C is still plaguing French Quarter businesses. This letter from the Sewerage and Water Board said water service would be off from 4:30 this morning to 4:30 this evening, urging them to close today. Yet some businesses that did close and lost today's worth of profits say the water was never off.
I don't know the specifics on that. I do know there are times when, because of the system itself, we're unable to take an action that we were planning to do.
Now, on that last issue in the French Quarter, Executive Director Randy Heyman said that they would be looking further into that issue and responding at a later date, and we will be following up with them. Sala?
And Alyssa, we know that the West Bank was under a boil water advisory for several days. You also have an update on that issue?
Yeah, so you may remember West Bank went under a boil water advisory. That was lifted for the majority of the West Bank yesterday, with the exception of the Memorial Park neighborhood. We asked the Sewerage and Water Board about that tonight. They said that there are still some concerning levels of chloroform and some water quality tests that they've been doing. They're going to be taking more samples from today and should have an update for tomorrow. But as of right now, that Memorial Park neighborhood is still under a boil water advisory. Back to you.